Good afternoon from the UK's cult town. Now, the reason why it's called that is a few articles that I've read online, and apparently this is the highest concentration of A, religions, and B, cults in the entire country, which intrigues me. So today we're on a cult hunt, guys. We're going to go to East Grinstead, check out the tourist sites, check out how beautiful it is, because apparently it's very pretty here, very safe, very nice. And three, we're going to find a cult. Not to join, but we're going to find a cult. Join me on a venture to East Grinstead. Welcome to East Grinstead, otherwise known as the UK's creepy cult town, a picturesque English town with timbered buildings, a steam railway and one very strange reputation. This town isn't just pretty, it's also home to the UK headquarters of Scientology. And they don't just have a big mansion on the edge of town, which you might have heard of, they actually own shops and buildings on the main high streets. But it's not just the Church of Scientology that heavily operates in this town. You've got Druids, the Opus Dei and many more. East Grinstead has become a hub, a magnet for spiritual movements, and depending on who you ask, a few full-blown cults. In this video we've got three aims. Number one, is East Grinstead a nice place to live? Number two, should you visit East Grinstead? And number three, and most importantly, is it really a creepy cult area? Is it the cult capital of the UK? Only time will tell. And we've literally been here for about 5 minutes now. I've literally just finished work, so we're filming this at like 5 PM. And yeah, we've got a beautiful viaduct. You can't really see it because of the trees. I'm going to see if I can get a better angle for you guys. But there is history in East Grinstead. There's so many abandoned mansions here, beautiful mansions around here, and a lot of wealth here. So there's a few stories that we'll tell about that when we do explore. Literally over there, you can see some sort of rag or a net. It looks like yeah, it's actually a net. You probably can't really make it out on the camera, but it's like a grey sort of net thing just attached to a tree. Is that the first sign of the cult? Probably not. The plan is we're going to go to a few nice sites in the main town centre, then we're going to venture out off the beaten path and explore a few of the neighbourhoods. I feel like if there's a cult, this looks like quite a cult road, you know? Like if I was a druid, I would be going down here. It gets more mysterious. Some what looks like to be abandoned storage units. Now if this ain't a cult, I don't know what is. For those who are going to comment, this is sarcastic comment. Obviously they're still in use, but I know the amount of comments are going to say, actually I think you'll find they're still used. It's like, yes, we know, it's a video, like please don't want to hear it, talk too much. Look at this, what a lovely quiet little town. I mean, it's a town, but it feels more like a village, or at least on the outskirts before we walk in. Means that guy literally got like a massive old medieval looking tree house. And yes, before I get comments, obviously it's not medieval, figure of speech, but it does look like a really nice area, to be honest. And yeah, there's some cults, but that isn't going to define East Grinstead. We're going to make sure that we don't do that today. It looks like a really nice place. It's clean. It's got a crime rate of, I believe, 55 crimes per 1,000 people, which isn't too high at all, actually. Especially bearing in mind, 10 minutes down the road and you're in Crawley, which is definitely not 55 crimes, and it's definitely not clean, and it's definitely not a nice place to live. As someone who's been to Crawley many a time, it's always a shame to come to the realisation that even in a very, very posh and wealthy town, even these government offices, daycare centres, community centres have all been mostly shut down, no matter where you are in the country, whether you're in Southampton, London or here or anywhere in between. It's just the new reality of England. But this looks like the main high street, and my god, it looks, I mean, this is a Saturday at 5:30, it should be quite busy. But yeah, I mean, there are quite a few bars and pubs here, don't get me wrong. The Wetherspoons I was just in to have my dinner was sort of half full. But yeah, there's not too many people. I mean, the shops are probably closed now, albeit, but the bars are certainly open. Maybe there's a slightly busier bit up ahead. This is when you know it's a posh town, is when you've got a crew clothing. That is when you know it is a posh town. Pretty sure that van driver just beeps at me, but who cares? Maybe someone was in the road, who knows? But yeah, in terms of the town centre, there's a few shops that you might notice. You've got your standards, your charity shops, your white stuff, your Poundlands, your abandoned places, your Boots, your Costa. To be honest, it's very average, despite this place being so wealthy. There are a few slightly posher shops and independents on the outskirts here and there, but generally speaking, for the actual town centre itself, you're looking at more of like your main chain. For those who are interested as well, there is actually a museum here. Obviously it's going to be closed because it's 5 PM, But there is the Museum of East Grinstead, which covers pretty much everything, probably including that beautiful church in the background over there. This bit over here looks pretty posh. You've got a beautiful old building there, all these Tudor sort of thatched houses. One of the most beautiful prezos I've ever seen as well. It's a really nice place here, actually. I really like East Grinstead. I sort of knew that was how I was going to feel, because it's not known to be a bad place or anything. It's just known to be the HQ of Scientology. In the UK, it's the HQ of Scientology, which is kind of crazy because it's a pretty small town, right? But it is a very pretty town at the same time, so I'm kind of conflicted. I'm 90% sure that that driver was beefing at me because he thought I was filming him and talking about him. No, I was talking about the crew. You're not the main character, mate. Well, here I am at Sakville College, which wasn't a college. It was actually a bit of a hospital for elderly, poorly people back in the day. And it's made from architectural style that you probably haven't heard before. It's called Jacobean. Now, you might not have heard of that. It's somewhere in between the early 17th century and the mid 17th century. It's a mixture of two things, Georgian and Tudor architecture. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty interesting. I can't go in there to show you guys because, as you can see, it is closed, but it is magnificent and it certainly is beautiful as well. This place, as you can see behind me, is so bloody pretty. It's one of the prettiest, most underrated towns. I mean, you know, there's not much more to do here than like a day or two, don't get me wrong, but it's so pretty and so quaint. Wouldn't be a bad place to live, minus the cults in the background. Just don't go to a field at midnight. Our next destination is East Court Mansion. It's a big old mansion, believe it or not, but there's one really cool fact about this place. With East Grinstead in general, the meridian line, where time is, literally goes through the entire town of East Grinstead. So there's a little area, which I'm going to show you, called the Greenwich Mean Time Zone of East Court, which is pretty cool, if you ask me. I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I mean, it's big, but it's not like as cool as the last place we saw. It's nice, you know, beautiful British flag on the top there, surrounding a guy on a bench, probably wondering why I'm filming him. It's big, but is it beautiful? It's all right. It's a mansion. I think this is the problem with traveling to too many countries, is you just look at buildings which to most people are probably quite pretty and you just think, eh, it's a building, it'll do. So I'm kind of sick of buildings, to be honest, in my time. It's like Novi Sad in Serbia. Watch my previous videos if you haven't seen that video yet, but Novi Sad, it's one of the most beautiful towns you ever see in Europe, right? But because there's so many other towns in Europe that are also pretty, it's just sort of there. But it's a lot prettier than Slough, let me tell you that, and probably a lot safer. This is a very weird statue, isn't it? You don't see statues of two people together. Two men, by the looks of it as well. Sir Archie Balls, which I believe, it rings a bell. When I was researching this video, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was the lawyer who used to own this building over here. There's some text coming up now if I'm wrong, but if there's no text, then you know I'm right, because I will fact check this. And here is the Mormon Church of East Grinstead, which is a church you don't see very often. I mean, this isn't the only one in the UK, of course, and there are others around, but it's just interesting to see how diverse the religions are here. It's pretty fascinating, to be honest. Look at these house prices, guys. How is the average Joe supposed to afford any of this? 50k, 1.1 million. I mean, they're big houses, but a 2-bedroom house, 4-bedroom, 450. 1,100 a month for a 1-bed, and that's probably for something that's pretty basic. It's absolutely mad to see a 1-bedroom end of terrace for 295 grand. So you've got to earn like 50k a year for that. That's mental. I mean, if this is what your estate agent looks like, you're probably in a wealthy town. In conclusion, what do we think about East Grinstead? Let me know in the comments. Well, I think, should you live here, it's probably a pretty good place to live, to be honest, especially compared to where the UK is going these days. East Grinstead is definitely up there. Number 2, should you travel here, should you visit? I mean, it's definitely worth a day trip. There's not buckets of things to do. I'm rushing it, I'm speed walking, and I'm doing a lot of it in the evening, but there's definitely stuff like Bluebell Railway, which I'm not filming this video, that I know is nearby that you can do. So yeah, a 1 or 2 nighter, maybe even a 3 nighter if you really want to take it slow, enjoy a few pubs and that sort of thing. It's probably a great place to go. And number 3 Is it the cock house of the UK? Well, factually it is, but there's not really any signs of it around. You've got St Hill Manor on the outskirts, the HQ of Scientology, which I might even drive past on the way home. But generally speaking, you can't really find too many traces of it here and there. You've got the Mormon Church, but it's not necessarily a cult, it's just a fringe of Christianity that not too many people know too many things about. It's still a religion, not a cult. So yes and no is my general answer. Let me know in the comments, as I say, what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.